Alan, what's happening, my man?
Not too much. Not too much. The NBA never sleeps, I'll tell you that much.
No, it doesn't. The NBA doesn't sleep. The NBA, there's a lot going on in the NBA, as you know. Yesterday, a slow Sunday. Our first Sunday without actual football in a very long time, unless you consider the Pro Bowl games football. Although I had fun watching it.
They weren't bad.
They weren't bad.
They were not bad. You know, seeing the guys do some different things. We know how ridiculous they are athletically. It could have been worse, in my opinion. When you have nothing else to watch, it could have been worse.
Yeah, no, it could have been worse. And shout out to the $45,000 to $50,000, 50,000 suckers that was out there at the Legion Stadium watching that stuff.
They were in there deep.
They were in there deep.
I'm wondering how many people maybe you get access that you don't normally get because it is the Pro Bowl, but I am wondering. It's one thing to say it wasn't that bad to watch on TV. I am wondering, how much did you cash out for that?
Well, I looked at the ticket prices, $40,000 or $40 to sit up in the nosebleeds, $250 to sit right on the field.
And it's
so
Vegas.
It's not bad.
And it's Vegas.
It's Vegas, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Actually, the pricing was pretty good. Because I was wondering that right off the rip. I put the game time out. I was like, how much can I spend on the ticket?
Right.
$40 to get you in the door. Not bad. Not bad. But the lead story today, obviously, and 888-957-9570. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shifts. Firefighters, cops, CHP officers, if you're at work, getting ready for work, good morning to you. Big news in the Bay Area yesterday. I guess yesterday capped off a rough 7-day stretch for Bay Area sports fans. Obviously, last Sunday, Niners lose to the Eagles. And you got Brandon Ayuk talking, say that they were the better team. We'll get to that a little bit later. Then yesterday, it was announced that Stephen Curry, who left the game Saturday night with about 2 minutes and 1 second left in the third quarter as the Warriors were rolling over the Mavericks. Now, they had to hold on for dear life in that one. Stephen Curry left with a left leg injury, and he's got a partial tear to a couple ligaments that I've never heard of in my life. So the Warriors are hoping that he'll be out for a few weeks. Now, you got this week. You have the All-Star break, and maybe get back after that. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people are going to panic saying, oh, no, Steph Curry's out. The Warriors are 27-26, season over. But the way the Western Conference is shaking out to be, season is far from over. So they could go 5-4 over the next 9, 4-5 over the next 9. They'll be in the same spot they are right now in the Western Conference. But the wear and tear of Stephen Curry is a concern, and you just wonder what the Warriors will do ahead of the Thursday trading deadline in the NBA.
I don't know if this should move the Warriors in any direction, Steph being injured, because ultimately you still needed somebody, I think, if you wanted to get over the hump. So whatever their plans were, I don't think that should necessarily change. It has been rough, Bonte. I mean, the start of 2023 for Bay Area fans, 2023 is not messing with Bay Area fans at all.
January was cool. The Niners got to the playoffs. They beat the Seahawks. We beat the Cowboys.
Brock got hurt in January, though.
Well, the last 7 days have been a rough
stretch. It's been a rough stretch.
The start of it was like, all right, the Niners are rolling.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the thing with Steph. Obviously, we know he's not getting any younger. We understand how his endurance is crazy. He stays in shape, but injuries are injuries. And the older you get, not only do they happen more often, but it takes longer for you to return. So we think Steph will be back within a certain amount of weeks, but ultimately we don't know. And then you got to ramp him back up. I am curious because you talk about we'll be all right. I think the Warriors will be all right, but you better hope two of those teams that are in front of you don't get hot. Right. If two of those teams in front of you get hot and they get closer to the Nuggets and the Nuggets and the Grizzlies, that could be a problem. You got to stay within punching distance.
Well, you look at the Warriors right now in 8th place in the Western Conference, 27-26. They're a half game behind the Minnesota Timberwolves, but one up on the T-Wolves in the loss column. Mm-hmm. Minnesota has 27 losses. Warriors have 26. That's what you want to pay attention to, folks, the loss column. Warriors in the loss column are tied with the Clippers, Suns, and the Mavericks. Here's what we know. The Suns own the tiebreaker over the Golden State Warriors. Yeah. They've won all 3 matchups so far this season against the Golden State Warriors. Sure, you're going to lose any tiebreaker against the Phoenix Suns because of the head-to-head matchup. That stinks. You played the Clippers once, you beat them. You'll see the Clippers next week in L.A. before the All-Star break. You're 3 games behind the Sacramento Kings. Right now, you own the tiebreak over the Kings 2-1. Let's see what the Kings do. They still don't play defense. I do believe they'll fade a little bit. The Mavericks. It shocked the NBA war yesterday by trading for Kyrie Irving. Now, a lot of people were saying, well, Luka and Kyrie can't guard. Who the hell's going to guard them?
It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Their offense is going to put a lot of stress on opposing defenses. I'm not mad at the Mavericks for making this trade, and you'll clear some salary if Kyrie ever decides not to re-sign. So, can you avoid the play-in tournament? Can you finish into the top 6? It's going to be a challenge for the Warriors. There's no doubt. Can they get in and win a play-in game and maybe advance in the playoffs? We'll see. But right now, they've got to stabilize this team without Stephen Curry, which means Andrew Wiggins has got to get back to being Andrew Wiggins.
Yes.
He can't go through a game like Saturday where he doesn't grab a rebound. Jordan Poole has to clean it up and play better down the stretch. He's going to get crunch time minutes again. Can he take care of the basketball? Can he take good shots? Don't get me started on Saturday with Jordan Poole. And I love Jordan Poole. But boy, Saturday was not a masterpiece for him. So can you stabilize your season without Stephen Curry for the next 3 weeks? It's going to be hard, but I believe they can do it, Alan.
I know that Jordan Poole is very frustrating to watch. He takes you on a roller coaster, right? Shout out Great America. Sometimes he's up, sometimes he's down. But Bonte, for everybody, just based on how this team is presently constructed, for everybody that does hate on Jordan Poole, how do you feel today? Because you need him. You need him really bad. And that's not to say that he's going to be perfect. We assume he's not. But without Jordan Poole, this team is cooked. And we saw a bit of the same thing last season. I think a big reason that the Warriors did this deal with Jordan Poole when they did it, a lot of people say, well, they were just making up for the punch and all these types of things, because Steph Curry really each season has had some sort of injury. We know Steph is going to miss some amount of time. You don't know how much, but that's just part of the deal here when you're an older player in the NBA, even if you're Steph Curry. So you need Jordan Poole to show up. And for all these people that want to call out what he doesn't do well, and I get it, he is far from perfect. In these situations, you live by Jordan Poole, you might die by Jordan Poole, because you need him more than you have ever needed him before if you're going to keep this season rolling.
So you think about Stephen Curry, you mentioned something that he's going to get hurt at some point. 2016-17, he played 79 games. The next season, he plays 51, right? 2017-18, he had various injuries. Next season, 2018-19, plays 69 games. All right, then he plays the 5 during the 15-win season, which some people think is a blessing in disguise because that team was going nowhere. Next year, pandemic season, he misses about, 19 games, plays at 63. They lose in the play-in tournament. Last year, he played 64. You were able to weather the storm without him because you didn't even know about Stephen Curry until you got to the damn playoffs.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this year he's been on and off the floor. Now he's going to be out for an extended period of time. He's played in 38 games. So Jordan Poole, he's going to be in the starting lineup as of now. If Steph Curry was healthy, Steve Kerr is going back to the more traditional lineup with Lone Dog, Draymond, Clay, Wiggins, and Stephen Curry. Now Jordan Poole gets another shot to start. And he's a vastly different player when he starts. The points per game go up nearly 10. He's off the bench. He's about, 16, 17 points per game. Comes in and starts. He's about 27, 28. At some point, you're going to have to get the same consistent Jordan Poole that you get in the starting lineup as opposed to off the bench. But, Alan, to me, it's the ball handling. It's the discernment, the shot making. Like Saturday night, he took a shot from the Chase Center logo, which made no sense.
Absolutely.
Early in the shot clock. Coming down the floor, it's just, you got to know time and situation.
Yeah. We're not even, how many games are we removed from when he did that against the Grizzlies?
Yes. Not too many games.
And that's why when that happened, I thought, look, I'm really glad the Warriors won, but is Jordan Poole really going to feel the weight of what he could have ruined because they did win? And then going into the media, obviously, he jokes and he throws his mouthpiece with Steph. When he gets to the back, they win. He gets the game winner. And I'm sitting there thinking, I mean, Jordan, you do realize how bad that was. And clearly, based on Saturday, he didn't. He did not realize how bad that was.
No, he hasn't learned. He didn't learn his lesson from that one. He's got to get better there. Andrew Wiggins got to get better. Andrew Wiggins, no rebounds on Saturday. Not one rebound. 4-6, I like the efficiency, but will the real Andrew Wiggins stand up? Now, he had the non-COVID illness, took a lot out of him. They got to get him ran back up. They need all-star. I can't believe Wiggins. 4-8 suffered the right adductor strain. Andrew Wiggins was shooting 45% from the three-point line, 51% from the floor. Career numbers. On his way back to the all-star game, going to Salt Lake City. Misses 15 games, and he just hasn't been right.
No. And they're going to need his three-point shooting at some point, specifically with Steph out. But I think if you're Andrew Wiggins, you got to just go inside out. He has there are a lot of opportunities when he has mismatches based on his versatility and how he can defend guys. You got to back that thing up on some guys and try to get to the cup because the three ball is not falling right now, my guy, unfortunately.
Well, you said the three ball's not falling for him. These numbers, since he's come back, he was shooting like 22% from three. Now, I'll pull up the exact data here in a second, Alan. But 22% from three is not good enough.
No.
Right? And it's just not good enough for fear. And if the free throw percentage since he's been back is down from 62.5%, which is not good in the first place, especially for a player of that caliber, down to 52%.
Yeah.
52% from the free throw line. Now, we know Andrew Wiggins go through slumps like this. From the charity stripe, he goes through slumps like this from the three-point line. But now's not the time to slump.
No. And when you're watching, I mean, a lot of last season, you would think, okay, he's going to make one. Probably not both. He's going to make one. You got to the playoffs, and he leveled up in every sense of the word. He needs to start that now. We don't have time for Andrew Wiggins to continue to try to slowly move back into what the form we need it to be, because there's no time with Steph Curry out. And, we saw on the text line a bit earlier, the Xfinity Mobile text line, maybe this is a blessing in disguise for the Warriors. Or maybe it's not. And maybe I said this to Spadone in the crossover. I'm just really, really glad that the Warriors won last season, Vontae. I don't mean to get the juju wrong. I'm not saying that they're done. I'm just saying it takes a lot to win a championship. It takes a lot of things that have to go right to win a championship. Steph Curry got injured last season. How that timing worked out, I think it was a blessing in disguise because Steph got that time off and was fresh going into the playoffs. It doesn't happen like that every single year. The Warriors have gotten 4 rings, and it's been beautiful. A lot has to go right beyond just what you do in every single game to win the whole thing. A lot has to do with other teams as well.
Right.
And now you got the Mavs and you got Kyrie and Luka. All I'm saying is I don't think it's it. I'm not saying they're done, but I'm just really happy they won last year because it takes a lot.
Yeah, right now we can't be thinking about championship.
No.
You've got to be thinking about just getting into the playoffs. So Andrew Wiggins, in 11 games since he's been back, Alan, 37.7% from the floor he shot. He shot 25% from the three-point line. He's grabbing 4.5 rebounds a game. Free throw percentage down to 52.2%. So he's not going to the line. He's only going to the line 2 times. I think he's not even trying to go to the free throw line. It's like LeBron James syndrome down the stretch. Yeah, I'm good off that free throw line. I don't want these free throws. Andrew Wiggins is in that state right now. 12.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. The efficiency numbers, it's just not good enough. This guy is a nightly 19 to 20-point scorer. So you got to get better with the efficiency. It's just not good enough, especially right now without Stephen Curry. You're going to need him to step up. Jordan Poole with the turnovers. Because I do think you have enough with the bench. Jonathan Kuminga's coming. JaMychal Green's playing better.
Yeah.
Anthony Lamb, we'll see about that with the two-way, and Ty Jerome with the two-way. But what do the Warriors do? That's my big question for today. 888-957-9570. Should the Warriors do anything before Thursday's NBA trading deadline? We see the Mavericks harp on Kyrie Irving, who, by the way, out of nowhere Friday night decided that he wanted to be traded. Or was it Saturday? Out of nowhere, he's just like, I want to leave Brooklyn.
Yeah. It was Friday. It was Friday, and just enjoying your time, eating a sandwich, whatever it is. Kyrie needs to be traded. I just wonder, and we know we talked to Nick Friedel, he's our guy. In Brooklyn, you just felt uneasy. You watch some of these shows and you just feel uneasy. It's like watching a scary movie. Boy. You don't know when something's going to pop out, right? But you know at some point it's a scary movie, so something's going to pop out. The Brooklyn Nets were a scary movie. You were just waiting for the next scene. It's a little too quiet.
They were playing well,
They were playing well.
They were playing great. They were looking like a championship contender.
Yeah, KD on the way back, at least somewhat soon. Kyrie,
Kyrie just cooked the Warriors at Chase Center a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm good. I need to be out of here. And we have no clue if he's going to play for the Mavericks, because from what I'm hearing, the Mavericks and Mark Cuban, shout out Shark Tank, they don't plan on signing him, so it might be a version of a rental. At least that's what I'm hearing now. And if it's a rental, I don't know if Kyrie plays.
See, I think the Mavericks would love to re-sign Kyrie Irving. However, I think they're also cool with him walking at the end of the season to clear that salary cap slot that they have, and they could go out there and try to get another player.
But they're going to have to tell. Yeah, but they're going to have to tell him that, hey, let's talk about this in the offseason, because Kyrie says that he wants. I don't think he wants to play as a rental.
Kyrie wants to go to LA.
Yes.
Kyrie just wanted to get out of Brooklyn. He wants to hit unrestricted free agency once again. And I think Dallas knows this. So they're going to try to go all in with the West this year, because nobody can guard the Western Conference. Mm-hmm. And Kyrie and Luka Doncic, their offense is their defense. Their offense is going to put so much stress on opposing head coaches. Everybody's looking at the other side. Look, I get it. They can't guard. They're a liability defensively, but can you give me 4 to 5 minutes of playing solid defense? They did it against the Phoenix Suns and got to the Western Conference Finals. Can they get to the Western Conference Finals again with just Kyrie and Luka? I think so. These guys are deadly.
Yeah.
You're talking about guys who could drop 50 in their sleep.
Right.
I mean, these dudes are big-time players. So I'm looking at it at that angle. Look, Bill Russell said it. You seen it in Uncle Drew. The game is about getting buckets. These two guys can get buckets.
It is. I am really interested in how this looks, and I'm not going to do the cliche, there's only one basketball to go around.
No.
I'm not even doing all that. I just have no clue how it will look. It's not going to be the offense. They're both such singular players, and I know Luka gets a lot of people involved, but it's Luka ball. And you have Kyrie, who is not known as a point guard, who distributes the basketball and does a lot of things. Kyrie puts it on the string, he dances on you, and he gets to the cup. So Bleacher Report and House of Highlights is going to have a field day with this team, because there's going to be 8,000 highlights per game. But basketball-wise, you can put it in the cup. Based on what they gave up, do they have enough to get all the way to the championship? Maybe in a down West year, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about championship, but they're going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
And Josiah, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, sticking his double birds at the LA Lakers, saying, I'm not trading Kyrie to LA as preferred destination.
No.
And I'm not mad at that. That's a gangster move by an owner.
I'm not going to be here.
I would have done the same thing. Mm-hmm. Kyrie, you didn't want to get the shot. You did, which, look, I get about I don't want to go down the political rabbit hole, the vaccine or whatnot, but you sold out your teammates.
Yeah.
That's what you did. You sold out your teammates. Whether you wanted to get it or not, you sold out Kevin Durant. You sold out Steve Nash. You sold out Seth Curry. You sold out that entire organization. This year, we know what happened with him this year, causing all the stir, whether you agree with him or not about the anti-Semitic stuff. Kyrie's just been a nightmare. And Kevin Durant married himself to Kyrie Irving, which is an entirely different conversation. But Brooklyn did what they had to do. And I'm with Josiah with sending him to Dallas, saying, yeah, you're not going to L.A.
No.
We probably have a better deal from the Lakers. You're going to freaking Dallas.
Yeah.
Screw you.
And to be completely honest, I made a joke about Mark Cuban and Shark Tank. Based on the deals Mark Cuban does, this does seem pretty dicey for Mark Cuban to get into, bringing in somebody like Kyrie. Yeah. So I don't see Mark Cuban connecting himself to a guy like Kyrie for a multiple amount of years. He's a businessman. That is not a good business move. He is all in on this year. He might not tell Kyrie that, but this is about this season. That's how I feel.
I wouldn't marry myself to Kyrie Irving as well. 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, I'm good.
No.
I'm good. All right. Question of the day. Should the Warriors make a move before the deadline? 888-957-9570. We also have some Brandon Ayuk sound. You got to hear what he had to say. Also, Joe Montana. Joe Montana being petty once again. He wants Jimmy Garoppolo back.
I love the young people.
Oh, man.